Okay, so as we get ready to start here, I want to welcome everybody for coming to see and honor General Derek Adams for his 34 years of dedicated service to the Iowa National Guard. And always, general officers, we come to events and then we like to watch for things that kind of get messed up, or people who struggle with their words, and we say, "Didn't you rehearse that?" Well, we didn't rehearse, so but the Adjutant General and the Land Component Commander outrank everybody in the room, so you can't say anything about it if we mess it up today. I would ask you to silence any phones or anything that you have as we get ready to get started. And to kick it off, Derek, I just want to tell you that I'm both honored and privileged to be serving as the Master's Ceremony today. And I'm not the best at reading things, but I'll stick to the script, and I'm just appreciative to be part of it.
There's no one I'd rather have do it.
I appreciate that. You'll say different afterwards. So I would ask that everybody, if you would just please rise. We'll be playing the national anthem and the invocation by Chaplain Jeremy Taylor.
In prayer. Your Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you so much for the opportunity to celebrate General Adams and his 34 years of service to our state and nation with the Iowa Army National Guard. Lord, thank you for who Derek is as a person, father, husband, soldier, leader, and friend. Lord, we ask you for this time to be one of just joyful peace, and you know how much he means to those of us in this room, that this is an honor of his and his family's sacrifice. Give General Adams just a settled peace that he has done more for our organization and for just us as people than he may ever fully know. We especially thank you for Angela, Eleni, and Landon. And now as we give General Adams back to them more fully, may you bless this next chapter of their lives with a sense of hope-filled anticipation, with new horizons and excitement as they continue to look for you as their loving Father and provision. May they know that their impact and legacy, as well as the friendships and relationships they forged, are not for a season, they're not for a career, they're for a lifetime. We pray all this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Members of the official party for today's ceremony include Major General Steve Osborne, the Adjutant General, Chaplain Jeremy Taylor, who just prayed for us, and the honoree, Brigadier General Derek Adams. Please be seated. The Adjutant General and I would like to extend a special welcome to the senior leaders and special guests that are with us today. Major General Eric Riley, the Deputy Commanding General Operations, 1st Army, is with us. Sir, thanks for being here. Major General Stephen Schemenauer, Mobilization Assistant to Deputy Chief, Office of the Undersecretary of Defense, he will be here. Major General Tim Orr, retired. Sir, thanks for coming here. Former Adjutant General. General officers, distinguished guests, family members, and friends, I just want to say thank you for being with us today. And at this time, I'd like to invite Derek, if you'd come forward and just introduce your family and special guests.
surprise. Okay, that'll be the last time I look at you for the next hour. Landon, sorry, there's no flowers, but I'll help you with your business. That'll be your gift. I do want to. So, my wife Angela, my daughter Eleni, my son Landon. I'd just like to say, just for a second, my daughter Eleni is just finished her freshman year at the University of Iowa. She has a career goal to be a nurse practitioner in sports medicine, and we all hope that turns out to be the case here in the next several years. My son Landon is just turned 17 years old, but he's already a business owner. Well, technically, since he's a minor, I actually own the business, but everything's really his, and he is moving out sharply on life and getting a good start. My mom, Anna Marie, thank you for raising me the way you did. It allowed me to be in this ceremony today. Thank you. My sister Kristen, my niece Maddie, my great niece Ela, and my nephew Kyler, my mother-in-law and father-in-law Bruce and Debbie Johnson. Brandon, stand up. You guys stand up. So this is my nephew Brennan Winky, and not only is he my nephew, but he's a 35 Fox who just redeployed from Syria. So we're proud of you for what you did for our country and what you will do in the future, and we're hoping that he's promoted to sergeant sometime here soon. And my other nephew, Tyler, and you also just graduated from high school and have great things in front of you as well, starting college here in a few months. And my sister-in-law, Krista. And so I've watched so many, like General Mack was saying, I've seen this so many times that this is a little bit of a nerve-wracking moment. And you see people stand up here and forget people's names, and so I don't want to do that. But I do want to recognize a couple of I know. My uncle Dave Shaker, my cousin Baker. But I want to recognize a couple of GS-15s from my civilian job. My boss, the chief of pharmacy at the Iowa City VA, Travis Tubbs. And where'd Janelle go? Oh, there she is. Janelle Wormuth. And 3 GS-15s. I see now. Thank you, sir. Janelle Wormuth is the Regional Pharmacy Executive for the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. And then David Stein is the Chief of Pharmacy at the Des Moines VA Medical Center. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it very much. And, okay, I did look at you again, but no more.
Thank you, Derek. Well, like I said, I'm excited to be part of today's event, to be able to be part of a retirement ceremony of such a great man, a husband and a father. He's actually a doctor. He's an amazing military combat leader. But Derek is my friend, and so this is tough for me today. I really enjoy our time together. And if I could title today's event, it wouldn't be retirement. I think I would call it Another Gladiator Takes a Knee, because that's how I see you. I see you. I would rate General Adams among the very best that I've ever served with in my career or been around. He's an exceptional leader. He's a war fighter. He's a real mentor to many in this room, and it's why it's a standing room only today. I believe, honestly, to say that you're one of the very best that the Iowa Army National Guard has ever developed or, run through the mill, grown. And so my biggest regret, I told you earlier in our relationship, is that we didn't meet earlier in our careers, and I mean that. And that's why I say, Derek, it's been an honor. It's been an honor. To set the stage, before I introduce the guest speaker today, I feel it's important to mention a couple things about our retiree. And I think everybody in here knows, but I just want to read a couple of things here. General Adams has served, and he's commanded at the company, battalion, brigade, division levels, served, and he grew up as a field grade officer. He deployed multiple times in support of this great nation. He served as the commander of the 2nd 34th Infantry Brigade Combat Team, as the director of the Joint Staff here at the Joint Force Headquarters, as an assistant division commander for sustainment 34th Infantry Division in Minnesota, as a wartime operational G3 for the 8th U.S. Army in Korea, and as the land component commander here in the Iowa Army National Guard. And during his time as the BCT command tour, he deployed the 2nd IBCT overseas to Camp Bondsteel, Kosovo, in support of Operation Joint Guardian. And like one of our special guests that I mentioned, Major General Eric Riley, Derek was also dual-hatted during that time and served as the Kosovo's 4th Regional Command East Commander. And that consolidates multiple partners, not only the U.S., it's Albania, Bulgaria, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Italy, Poland, Romania, Slovenia, Switzerland, Turkey. I mean, it goes on and on with the amount of soldiers that he commanded. During his time as the land component commander, he executed the Exportable Combat Training Capability, XCTC, rotation at Camp Ripley, Minnesota, and the Joint Readiness Training Center, JRTC rotation at Fort Polk, Louisiana, where he served in both of these as the senior mentor, the exercise lead and lead trainer for both rotations. Rotations that bring not only the Chief of the National Guard Bureau, the Director of the Army National Guard, but Chief of the Joint Staff. I mean, you were constantly in the vision of the top leaders across the entire military being seen if you mess up. And you didn't mess up, you did great. Both rotations with our partners, Kosovo soldiers, and training alongside National Guard soldiers from Iowa. General Adams, your legacy is not just written in operational success or strategic victories. It lives on in the thousands of brave young men and women that you have mentored, commanded, and inspired throughout your career. You have shaped the future of the Iowa Army National Guard, the active duty counterparts you've worked with. Derek, you've left an incredible mark on our nation, on your nation. I want to say thank you to your family, who stood by your side during those times and deployments and weekends and all those different pieces. I want to say thank you for your guidance that you've given me personally throughout our conversations, meals, TDYs, schools that we've attended together, to include the conversations at Fort Polk, in the hottest weather I've ever been in my life. Talking about my daughter and just our friendship means the world to me, brother, and I appreciate it.
Likewise.
With such an impressive career and resume, today's event requires a speaker of a much higher magnitude than me. And at this time, I would like you to stand for the Adjutant General of Iowa, and sir, please come forward on behalf of.
Thanks, Mac. Yeah, what a crowd. This is very fitting for this family. So good afternoon, distinguished guests, general officers, colleagues, friends, and most importantly, the family of Brigadier Derek Adams, Brigadier General Derek Adams. So, an exciting day, an emotional day, but a very special day for the Adams family and this organization. And we're gathered here today for a truly special purpose, and that's to honor this remarkable soldier, a dedicated leader, a true friend, as he concludes an extraordinary career of service to our state and nation. Today, we celebrate General Derek Adams. But before we get to the man of the hour, we have to start where Derek's strength truly lies, and that's his family. And you simply can't celebrate Derek without recognizing his family, his lovely wife, Angela, their daughter, Eleni, and their son, Landon. Angela and I have exchanged a few texts leading into this, and I'm going to come right out shooting here, Angela. But Angela, we know he wears the stars, but we know you command the family.
Very true.
And the incredible bond here between the two of you has been evident from the very beginning. Brigadier General Eric Whelan, good friend of Derek's, shared a memory with me that perfectly captures this. I did not know this. But Eric recalls the St. Barbara's Day celebration in 2000 in front of the 1st of the 194 and other associated artillery men and women. And Derek proposed to Angela at that event in front of the entire battalion. And as General Whelan puts it, few will ever forget the look on Angela's face, and few will ever forget Derek's sheer courage for proposing in such a public environment. Obviously, you said yes. And since that day, military service has never been a solo endeavor in the Adams family. And Angela recently shared with me just how deep that commitment goes, explaining military life is the only life I have ever known with Derek. So over 2 decades, you all have provided Derek with unwavering support. You've endured the missed holidays, the sudden changes in plans, the long deployments, and the late night phone calls. Your collective strength has been the bedrock to his success. And this retirement is a profound moment for all of you. This journey does not just end for the soldier. It is a shared transition for the entire family. For all the sacrifices you have made to allow Derek to lead and to serve, we owe you all our deepest gratitude. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in another round of applause for this incredible family. So looking at Derek's career, his unmatched dedication is obvious the moment you realize he willingly took on 2 highly demanding professions. While most of us are completely exhausted by one, Derek has successfully balanced his military service with an equally challenging civilian career. Having earned a doctorate in pharmacy from the University of Iowa, he has gone on to serve as an associate chief of pharmacy at the VA hospital in Iowa City, and even took on a role as an adjunct assistant professor at the University of Iowa. So balancing the relentless demands of these distinguished civilian roles with the intense operational tempo of the National Guard requires a rare level of commitment, making Derek the absolute embodiment of the citizen soldier. Derek's military journey as an officer began more than 3 decades ago with his commission through ROTC at the University of Northern Iowa in 1995, where Derek was a distinguished military graduate. And over the next 30 years, as the world changed and the demands of the National Guard skyrocketed, Derek adapted and excelled, building a reputation as a leader of impeccable character. His friendship with Major General Charles Kemper, forged back in 2007 during Derek's first K4 deployment to Kosovo, gives us a perfect glimpse into that character. As fellow staff officers, fellow G3s, they bonded while navigating the challenges of a difficult higher headquarters. Who's ever seen that? General Kemper finally recalls how they often found themselves rewriting their own tasks because the direction they received was so disconnected from reality. While one order tasked them to seize illegal drugs, their patrols were more likely to find illegally cut firewood or a mule carrying black market potatoes. So this humor, combined with the soldier's realism, defined Derek's approach. Focus on the real mission, understand the environment, and lead from the ground up. course, not all adversaries are so easily handled. In fact, one of Derek's most persistent opponents wasn't on the battlefield at all, but in our nation's airports. According to Angela, Derek has been in a long, drawn-out war with the Transportation Security Administration. For reasons unknown, Derek seems to be on some type of top-secret TSA watch list, and his frequent delays at airport security have become kind of a running joke for the family. But the most famous incident occurred during his first deployment to Kosovo. While heading back to theater after mid-tour leave, he was detained by the TSA for such a long time that his flight actually took off without him. So Angela had to turn the car around, pick him up, and they had to go through that emotional goodbye for a second time. So it seems even a general officer can't overcome the TSA. So Derek, in retirement, my recommendation is let Angela make the travel plan.
Yes, sir.
Derek's willingness to take on any challenge shaped more than just his career. It defined his friendships and the very core of his leadership. For those who had the privilege of serving alongside him, his mentorship has left an indelible mark. Brigadier General Whelan spoke to this profound impact, noting that Derek has been a defining influence on his career. And Eric shared with me that Derek has consistently provided guidance, perspective, and encouragement. And when Eric reflected on his military journey, Derek's mentorship and friendship are woven throughout that story. Throughout his distinguished career, Derek has consistently embraced our military's most demanding assignments. His extensive operational record is marked by critical deployments in support of Operation Noble Eagle, two deployments to Kosovo in support of Operation Joint Guardian and Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. And most notably, during his second tour in Kosovo in 2021, this time as the commander of NATO's KFOR Regional Command East, Derek's exceptional leadership earned him the highest possible praise from United States Army Europe and Africa Commander General Cavoli, who recognized Derek as the single finest commander in KFOR he had ever rated. Following his promotion to Brigadier General, the weight on Derek's shoulders only grew. But his performance as an assistant division commander for the 34th Infantry Division never faltered. This period was marked by an extremely high operational tempo, but according to his fellow assistant division commander, Major General Steve Schemenauer, it was also the most fun I've had in the Army, largely due to the quality time spent with one of the best battle buddies a man could ask for. Their work involved a grueling schedule of international diplomacy, from drinking champagne with allies in France to bravely eating poisonous fish in Croatia. And as General Schemenauer put it, generaling is hard. Of course, no leader is entirely perfect. General Schemenauer was quick to point out Derek's one critical flaw. He's a notoriously terrible assistant driver with an uncanny ability to fall asleep within 5 minutes of anyone else taking the steering wheel.
Fact.
Joking aside, General Schemenauer's admiration of Derek is absolute, calling him a true warrior, a soldier, and a born leader. He concludes with the highest praise one soldier can give another. I would share a foxhole with him any day, in any fight, against any enemy, and I am proud to call him my friend. Is Steve here?
He'll be here soon,
He'll be
sir.
here later. Well, despite his questioning co-piloting skills, Derek's leadership was highly valued across the entire 34th Infantry Division. His commander, General Charles Kemper, praised his incredibly effective contributions, pointing to Derek's steady presence, initiative in sharing best practices from Iowa, and his strong leadership at the division headquarters. According to General Kemper, their days were defined by rigorous work and classic good-natured humor shared among soldiers. Yet what stood out most was the invaluable professional coaching Derek consistently provided to both the division headquarters and the subordinate brigades. As we look back today, the true measure of General Adams' service extends far beyond outstanding records or prestigious titles. It is found in his resolute professionalism, his genuine character, and his relentless dedication to developing the next generation of leaders. Throughout his distinguished career, whether commanding a brigade combat team, guiding key components of the 34th Infantry Division, or directing the strategic readiness and welfare of over 6,000 soldiers as the land component commander for the Iowa Army National Guard, Derek has always led with a singular, unwavering focus: his soldiers. In doing so, he built cohesive, high-performing organizations founded on trust, shared purpose, and lasting excellence. The standard he established and the leaders he mentored will continue to shape our Guard, our state, and our nation for decades to come. So Derek, as you hang up your uniform for the last time, you leave behind a legacy of absolute excellence. You've set a standard for leadership and compassion that will inspire generations of soldiers to come, and your contributions are truly immeasurable. So now it's finally time to enjoy a well-deserved retirement. It's time for more uninterrupted weekends with Angela, with family, with Hawkeye games. On behalf of a grateful state, a grateful nation, thank you for your service, your sacrifice, and your leadership. And we wish you nothing but the best in retirement.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations to the entire Adams family.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we're going to do an awards presentation at this time. So if I could, attention orders. The President of the United States, authorized by Act of Congress, has awarded the Distinguished Service Medal to Brigadier General Derek Adams for exceptionally meritorious service for 34 years while serving in the position of escalating responsibility across diverse command echelons from the company command to land component command, culminating as the Assistant Adjutant General of Iowa. Brigadier General Adams' leadership has been characterized by the highest standards of excellence. His strategic foresight, coupled with unwavering command, has provided a direct and substantial contribution to the readiness of the Iowa Army National Guard, the state of Iowa, and multiple partnered nations. Brigadier General Adams' singularly distinctive accomplishments are in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon himself, the Iowa National Guard, and the United States Army. Here, here. Brigadier General Adams will now be presented with the Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America in recognition of faithful and honorable service, placing him on the rolls of retired officers. To all who seize these presents, greetings. Brigadier General Derek Adams, in recognition of your distinguished military service in the Iowa National Guard and in the Armed Forces of the United States of America, you are, by order of the Commander-in-Chief, placed on the retirement rolls of the Iowa National Guard effective 1 July 2026. The best wishes of the Iowa National Guard and the state of Iowa follow you and your future undertakings, and may you find in your retirement all the happiness and good fortune that you so richly deserve. Signed, Major General Steve Osborne, the Adjutant General, and the Honorable Kim Reynolds, the Governor of Iowa. A letter of appreciation will now be presented from the President of the United States. For service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America, Brigadier General Derek Adams, I extend to you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contributions of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of our nation during a critical time in history with the devotion to duty and the spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of the military service. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, President Donald J. Trump, the Commander-in-Chief. The United States flag is our nation's most charitable symbol. It represents freedom and liberty that our service members protect. Brigadier General Adams will now be presented with the United States flag. This flag symbolizes his years of selfless service in grateful nation. At this time, Angela, you and both children, please come up. Join Major General Osborne and your husband here for the presentation of the Spouse Certificate of Appreciation. To all who sees these presents, greetings. This is to certify that Angela Adams, on the occasion of the retirement of her husband from active status with the Iowa National Guard, has earned grateful appreciation for her own unselfish, faithful, and devoted service. Her unfailing support and understanding helped to make possible her husband's lasting contributions to the nation. Signed, Stephen Osborne, Major General, the Adjutant General. Sir, at this time, a personal gift from you.
Sergeant Major Strasser. So Sergeant Major Matt Strasser is the Command Senior Enlisted Leader for the Iowa National Guard, but he's also the former battle buddy with Derek here when they were deployed in Kosovo in 2020, 2021. But we just want to give a few tokens, and Derek, the first is just desktop medallion presented by me for everybody's knowledge. You know, our coins, the military history and legacy of providing coins for appreciation of our thanks, rewarded for excellence. So the first one, Derek, desktop, a little fancier than some of the others, but also the Adjutant General coin. I just want to say thanks for all you've done for the Iowa National Guard, me personally, and all our soldiers.
Thank you.
I already handed off a coin a little bit ago, but yeah, it's a nice coin, see that? I just want to say a couple things about General Adams. You know, we met probably, I don't know, 2009, 10, whatever. When we were on the brigade staff together. I don't think he was my biggest fan then, because I was the brigade ops sergeant major when he was the fires officer. So I had to yell at him frequently, probably. But I look back on our time as a command team together at the brigade. I truly couldn't ask for a better battle buddy that we spent COVID together. Wearing damn masks, getting stuff, sorry about Facebook Live, shoved down our noses. But as a command team together in that environment, international partners with all different, I guess, COVID preventative measures, COVID, how they had to be evacuated out of theater. But watching General Adams command the brigade in that kind of environment was truly amazing. And I learned a lot from you, sir. I think our time together was one of the highlights of my career without question. And I just wanted to say thank you. I told you your gifts got delayed in the mail, but I think you're gonna like it. For the NCOs out there, you know, what this man's done for us as an NCO Corps in his time at the FA or at the brigade has been unbelievable. The way he leads and offers the NCOs the opportunity to take charge and move the organization forward, truly amazing. We grew under him a lot. We owe a debt of gratitude, so he's gonna get an NCO sword from me once it arrives in the mail. So just wanted you to know that before, thank you.
Okay, before the Sergeant Major leaves, we also want to give the retirement.
Wait a second.
This is a new retirement hat from the Iowa National Guard.
Finally, I'm Cav.
You ain't Cap.
I won't share what I sent as a text message when I saw that.
All right.
I have no idea how you did that.
All right, this time, General Koppelman.
I'd also like to say, just real quick, I've never seen Command Sergeant Major Strasser show even one emotion.
Yeah.
So,
I just didn't know what I was gonna say.
yeah.
Tries here every day.
Hey, so from General McClintock and myself, for the past 3 years now, the three of us have been the 3 1-stars in the Iowa Army National Guard. So on duty, I guess you could call it the 3 Musketeers, off duty, the 3 Amigos, and to a lot of you, probably the 3 Stooges. All right? But, hey, I don't want to belabor everything that General Osborne and General McClintock have already said about General Adams, but just a couple of quick things that is absolutely amazing as far as his contributions just in these last 3 years. But as the Land Component Commander, he provides the oversight for 6 out of every 7 soldiers in the Iowa Army National Guard, right? Senior trainer, XCTC, senior trainer, JRTC. General McClintock said, one of the finest we've ever produced. A year and a half ago, General Mingus, the Vice Chief of Staff, came here, and if you would have been in the TAG conference room when General Adams briefed the 2nd most senior officer in the U.S. Army, it was a master class as far as thinking and speaking at the strategic level. And everything else he's done, he had AAG responsibilities as well, Assistant Adjutant General responsibilities. That means that everything that the boss doesn't want to do, you know, the 3 of us do, right? So ceremonies and you name it. And then finally with the brigades mode, I can't even tell you how many send-off ceremonies, welcome home ceremonies, and everything else. And he did all of this as an M-Day Brigadier General. And so frequently General Osborne would lament the fact that he gets more work out of Derek than he does out of either General McClintock and myself, and we do this full time. So what this gift kind of says is, we're glad you're going because you're making us look bad. But what it also says is, we had this engraved with his name, his stars, because we want him to remember everything that he's accomplished during his career and the time that he had and all of his successes, but also the unit, so he remembers all of you and all of us that he got to serve his time with. And we have, hopefully, what will be used well here in retirement, which is a decanter set with the 4 rocks glasses. So, Derek, from the both of us, congratulations.
Thank you, Mark.
As a token of appreciation and to commemorate his distinguished career, members of the 194 Field Artillery Officers Association would like to present Brigadier General Adams with a memento of his service. So if you would all come forward, please.
All dear children. I just missed you.
So, sir, on behalf of the 194, the Field Artillery Association, we want to give you this print. So this is from the soldiers and the friends who serve alongside you, presented with you. This print called Taking Charge. This piece depicts one of the most celebrated moments of World War II, January 13, 1945, for Belgium during the Battle of the Bulge. What you're looking at is leadership under fire, literally. Dick Winters stood at the tree line, watched his former company being torn apart. Every instinct told him to charge in himself. He started to, then duty stopped him. He turned, found the right man, and Lieutenant Spears gave him a clear order and trusted him to execute that mission. This is the standard, sir, and the standard you've lived with every day of your career. What makes this print special is more than the art. Several of the veterans depicted here placed their original signatures on this piece. You'll see Dan Malarkey, Harold Below, Brad Freeman, Richard Rowlander, and the artist, Sean Sullivan. It's a living document of history. We hope every time you take a look at it, it reminds you of our time together and the profound impact you've had on every soldier in the formation.
Wow.
This is presented to you. If you flip it over, you'll see kind of who helped contribute to this, but you'll see them here on stage with me. Rod Chitty, Jim Klein, Phil Daniels, John Fansega, AJ Mason, George Mosby, Jeremy Taylor, Josh Courage, Eric Agers, myself, Corey McCoy, Nick Reinhardt, and of course Eric Wheeler. It's been an honor, sir. Can't
Yeah, sweet. I love it. Thank you. Nick. Rod. Corey. Jeremy. Bill. I don't know your first name. Sergeant Major. I never call NCOs by their first name. Sergeant Major.
You're welcome, sir.
I've seen him on some kind of social media. Thank you.
So I asked for permission to do this, just so you know. My first time as a battalion chaplain, I was honored to have then Lieutenant Colonel Derek Adams as my battalion commander. And I just wanted to share very briefly that Angela and you have been integral to our family's life. Angela's been there for my wife Kim, and has just been a mentor and a friend. So she wanted to present these flowers to Angela on behalf of our family. If I could just share briefly, one of the things that I so admired is that every single drill as your chaplain, you would sit down with me because you cared about your soldiers. And I just love that, how we could influence them. And so as you take a journey with Jesus in this next chapter of your life, this study Bible is for you, your new SOP, as you go forward in life. And then I also just wanted to share one other quick story. I don't know if you remember this, but I came to you and said, what would you think about sending a birthday card to every
Oh,
soldier?
yeah, I totally remember that.
And you actually said that was on my list
Yes.
of things to do.
Yes.
What I want you all to know is that every single one of the 400 soldiers in the field artillery received a hand-signed card from this man. And soldiers out in the batteries would say to me, Chaplain, I got Colonel Adams' card. My name was on it too, but they never said that.
Yeah.
But they would say, that's the first birthday card that I've had since I was 8 years old. And it meant the world to me that he'd sign that. That's the kind of leader that this is. And so this is probably the most painful part because I'm a big Nebraska fan. You know Derek Adams, he's an Iowa fan, and you guys seem to have her number, but this is from Kirk Ferentz. What? Says, Derek, thank you for your service, sacrifice for being a great Hawkeye. Kirk Ferentz. Now I know Coach wanted to be here, but if you could just come down here.
I just want to take this opportunity to congratulate General Adams on just an outstanding career, 30 plus years of, just service and total leadership. And the feedback I've gotten is that you've been totally committed, just heart and soul put into your job and your work and towards your troops. And well, I don't know a lot about the military. I just know what we do, building a team. It's all about that exactly. Everybody being all in, working together, working for the benefit of each other, and that's how good things happen. And it sounds like you've done a wonderful job of that throughout your career and risen to the highest of levels in leadership. So just want to congratulate you on that. Also want to thank you for your service, your sacrifice, We live in the greatest country in the world, and it doesn't happen without a cost. And I know you've put a lot of time into it, made sacrifices professionally and from your family, with your family, to make our lives better. So I really appreciate that. And then the last thing, just want to congratulate you as you move into a new phase of your life. And the great thing is, appreciate you being a great Hawkeye fan. If there's one good thing, hopefully we can see it more in Kinnick, and hopefully you'll see a team out there working and playing with the kind of spirit that you would approve of. So appreciate your interest in our program and our team. And again, congratulations and thanks.
Lieutenant Colonel Foote. Colonel Foote will be coming forward here, as well as the brigade commander. I don't know how we follow that.
Yeah, I was like, man, our gifts are in the mail, maybe? Not gonna. I would just say, I'll use General McClintock's words just to sum up. You've led thousands of soldiers, you mentored thousands of soldiers, and you inspired thousands of soldiers. On the back of this is just a handful of those soldiers, both currently serving and then those that have worn the Red Bull patch in the past as well. So on behalf of the Brigade Combat Team, appreciate you.
Sir, very OIR fashion, you didn't get to go, but it's a mini T-wall. So I know you got a bunch of Red Bull stuff, and Angela, at first, I'd like to say thank you for your continued support. I had the honor and privilege to serve with you for quite a long time. We learned a lot. Your dedication, just support and just leadership has paid dividends. And we just got you a small token. It's got your Afghanistan, Kosovo. It just says recognizing a lifetime of exceptional leadership forged for the ranks. In the ranks of the 2nd Brigade team, Combat Team, 34th Infantry Division, from commanding the brigade to leading the Iowa National Guard as the land component commander, your strategic vision and enduring dedication have shaped the future of the force. Your impact on the Red Bulls will never be forgotten. Attack, attack, attack. So a little desktop, and it's got our coin on the back. So. Awesome. The chocolate one. Yeah, you can eat that.
Appreciate that. Tony Smith-Hart. Smith-Hart.
All right, sir. On behalf of the soldiers of the 734th Regional Support Group, thank you for your mentorship, your leadership, and really the investment that you have made in our organization. And so, in sincere appreciation of your support to the 734th RSG and your dedicated service to the soldiers of the Iowa National Guard to the top. And we have our motto Tomahawk, along with each of our unit coins embedded in this.
That's quite awesome. Yeah.
So.
Thank you, Tony. Colonel Nelson.
Okay, sir, was not planning to follow Kirk Farnsworth Brigade, of course, 734th, but it is a privilege as 67 Troop Commander, Sidewinder 6, to just stand on the same stage with you, sir. Talk a lot about being an authentic leader, about intentionality, and about team play, and that theme has been throughout your career. Luckily, the 67 Troop Command got time all the way up until the end with you, sir. Visiting troops in the field, spending 3-4 days with them out there. It means a lot. And you can see it in the soldiers, and your influence matters. And it's been an honor to serve with you. And this says, Brigadier General Derek Adams, on behalf of the soldiers of the 67 Troop Command, thank you for your leadership and your mentorship. Sidewinder. Thanks, sir.
Okay, any additional gifts that may be presented to General Adams will be taking place with him one-on-one in the atrium. And when we do release here today, there'll be some time for some pictures with his family, and so we would ask that you meet with him in the atrium, shake his hand, and hug on him there. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor and my pleasure to present to you Brigadier General Derek Adams. Sir, if you would come up, we're ready for your comments.
So before I start, what I have, sort of formally prepared, I do want to say that the timing is perfect. Like, we couldn't have rehearsed it any better. Major General Stephen Schemenauer and his wife Jen. Yeah, I want to publicly acknowledge that it's my fault, because I texted him several months ago that this ceremony was to start at 1500 or 3 p.m. and then we changed the time during planning to 1300 or 1 p.m. and I never got back to him and told him of the time change. So, yeah, yeah, that's totally my fault. And I take responsibility, but I mean, I'm done in like 9 days, so there's nothing the Army can do for me or to me now. But I want to just start by saying that it's an overwhelming honor to have you all here today. And I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the thought that was put into the gifts. I mean, that means, I can't even put into words what that means. Thank you. I'd also say that I haven't gotten nervous very often over the past many years. I used to get nervous public speaking, like when I was a captain, and all that's been sort of flushed from me. I did get slightly nervous when I had a brief. General Pappas, the Force Comm Commander on the GRTC plan a couple of years ago. But I made it through it. I've been extremely nervous about today. And not because it's my last day on duty. Not because I think I'm going to say the wrong thing. But because I've been pretty open and transparent and raw with people over the past 17 days as I've been circulating to units. And especially when I've had open forums with officers, I've been very open about, things that I've not necessarily shared with people about how I feel about things and, mistakes that I've made along the way. And, I just have been nervous about making it through this without, or being able to say all the words without getting too emotional. Because my service has, it's meant the world to me and to my family. I can tell I'm nervous because my mouth is really dry. So this is unusual because I've stood at this podium, I don't know, dozens of times probably, and I've delivered speech after speech, and it's just like, I don't even know, getting in the car and driving to the gas station, like it's no big deal. This one's different. But General Osborne, General Schemenauer, General Riley, General Orr, other fellow general officers, family, friends. Again, it means a lot to me that you're here today to share this important life moment with me. Thank you, General Osborne. You had a lot of kind words in there, a few funny stories. I appreciate your comments. It's been an honor to serve with you. And I have the honor to retire today. This is a day I've been looking forward to for a long time. It's been a long and astonishingly rewarding career. And I want to focus my comments on gratitude. First, I want to thank God for his continued presence in my life and for the gifts, guidance, and grace afforded to me. God directs my life, and I go in the direction that he wants me to go. God, more than any event or any human, has led me to retirement. Next, I want to thank my family. I want to thank my mom and my sister for being here. I'm very thankful that my mom and dad were able to make it to my promotion. I'm struggling, Mac. Promotion to Brigadier General 4 years ago. Unfortunately, my dad passed away less than a year later. But he would have loved to witness my retirement. I know he was very proud of me. And he often encouraged me to retire, frequently telling me that my family and I had sacrificed enough. And Mom, I know that you're proud of me too. When I joined the Iowa Army National Guard in 1991, if you remember this, I had to have my recruiter come to talk to my parents in our living room. At the time, my parents weren't completely sure that this was a good decision, but it was a great decision. I've said many times over the years that joining the Iowa National Guard was one of the best decisions I ever made. Probably third best. The best two decisions I ever made were to become a Christian and to marry my wife, Angela. Angela's been supporting and loving me through the past 27 years and has given a lot of herself for the sake of our country. She's also my biggest fan. As everyone here knows, military service adds a lot of stress to families. Angela, Eleni, and Landon have all sacrificed a lot for me to be able to serve this long. And I want you to know that I love and appreciate all of you, each of you, very much. A very special thank you to my wife Angela for standing strong by my side throughout the entirety of our relationship. I was a lieutenant when we met the first time. She tried to call me after we met. My cousin Grain informed her that I was gone for the weekend at drill, and she said over the years that that should have been the moment. It should have been the signal to run fast in the opposite direction. But she didn't. She's lived through almost 30 years of part-time military service that included getting married while I was on a 4-day pass because my unit was in the process of leaving for a very short notice deployment a year after 9/11. Then the next deployment in 2007, when Eleni, our first child, was born only days before I left until mid-2008. Then in 2008, while still deployed, Governor Culver and Major General Dardis, who was the TAG at the time, visited us overseas, and General Dardis informed us that we'd be deploying again with the BCT in the next 2 years. So we hurried to have landed in 2009 before I left for another 15 months from 10 to 11. On the fourth deployment that Command Sergeant Major Strasser talked about in 2020 to 2021, we had different challenges. Teen and preteen kids who were old enough to miss their dad, all while dealing with the bizarre world of a global pandemic due to COVID. I know my family has had a bit of a love-hate relationship with the military, but your considerable sacrifice is now finished. Thank you for your resilience, and I hope today's event helps provide closure to this part of our lives. I want to thank my parents-in-law, Bruce and Debbie Johnson, for the substantial support while I've been away from home, and even sometimes when I've been at home. I'll be at home pretty much all the time now, but I still won't know how to fix anything. So we'll probably still need to continue to submit work orders to Bruce. Thank you for everything that you've done. I want to thank the organization for giving me the opportunities I've had, especially over the last 10 years. 10 years ago, my family was preparing to move to Maxwell Air Force Base in Alabama for a year so I could complete the Air War College. That was an amazing experience, and I learned an absolute ton. And since then, I've been blessed with opportunities to command an Infantry Brigade Combat Team, serve as the Deputy Commanding General of the 34th Infantry Division, serve in Korea as the wartime G3 for 8th U.S. Army, and served these past 3 years as the Land Component Commander of the Iowa National Guard, which included the opportunity, as you heard, to serve as the senior trainer at 2 major training exercises involving many thousands of soldiers, and oversee the GRTC rotation in an in-stride transition to a level 3 Army mobilization exercise that I think was the most complex operation the Iowa National Guard has planned and executed in the last 15 years. For the civilians in the audience, GRTC stands for the Joint Readiness Training Center at Fort Polk, Louisiana, and it is the crucible. It's the most difficult, complex, realistic, and tough training the United States Army has to offer an infantry brigade. But back to being blessed with opportunities. The Iowa National Guard has 22 positions for colonels, and only 2 of those are operational positions, what soldiers refer to as MTO positions, and I was blessed to be in one of those 2. As far as I know, I'm the only field artillery branch officer to ever command the 2nd Brigade of the 34th Infantry Division. There are no MTO positions for general officers in the Iowa National Guard. Nevertheless, I got to serve as a general officer in 2 MTO units, an infantry division headquarters, and a forward stationed field army headquarters. I've been to 20-some countries, which I never would have had the opportunity to do otherwise, and I even got to be the senior U.S. commander in one country on my last deployment. I don't highlight these things to boast. I'm reviewing them because I'm so thankful for the opportunities, the experiences, and the trust extended to me. When I enlisted in 1991, or when I was commissioned in 1995, I never imagined I'd be able to do the things I have. And it's been a mind-blowing honor and a privilege. These experiences have been fulfilling and life-changing, giving me opportunities, knowledge, skills, and experience that permeate every area of my life. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude for the opportunity to serve at this level and contribute as much as I possibly can to our national security. I've cherished the opportunity to know so many outstanding Americans, my fellow soldiers, who I deeply respect and admire. This organization and the Department of War more generally is so filled with extraordinary talent that it's sometimes hard to believe. And I've been privileged to be a part of it. I've been blessed and rightfully humbled to serve with the best of the best, many of whom are in this room, but also others within the U.S. Army, Air Force, Navy, and Marines. Within the past few weeks, while visiting an infantry battalion in the field, I was struck by the extraordinary experience and expertise among the group with me. I stood with Colonel Promotable Lampy, the incoming Deputy Adjutant General of the Iowa National Guard, Colonel Stanford, the incoming commander of the 2nd Brigade of the 34th Infantry Division, Command Sergeant Major Casey, the Command Sergeant Major for the entire state, Lieutenant Colonel Perino, the commander of 1st Battalion 133rd Infantry, who just returned from combat in Syria, and who was, to the best of my knowledge, the senior U.S. commander in Syria, Lieutenant Colonel Foote, who has been the rear detachment commander for the brigade combat team while they were deployed, and will soon take command of the 133 from Colonel Perino, and Major Labios, the brigade operations officer. I had the same feeling last year when I attended the collective training seminar with Colonel Merchant, Colonel Smithart, Colonel Goodrich, and Lieutenant Colonel Foote. These are top-tier Army leaders, all of them. Probably between 2 and 3 dozen deployed years combined. And if I had to rate any of them on a scale of 1 to 100, I'd rate them all 100, and I'd go to war or walk through burning buildings with any of them. It was a moment that I found myself awestruck by the talent within this organization, and it wasn't the first time that I had similar feelings. It's quite humbling, actually, and the talent in this organization is the most important characteristic that makes it so hard to leave. You are my brothers in arms, which I believe is a human bond stronger than any except for marriage or the parent-child relationship. I would sacrifice almost anything for you, and I accepted and reconciled in my mind and soul long ago that I would give my life for one or many of you if the situation called for it. General H.R. McMaster, I've been following him for years. He wrote a paper a few years ago titled Preserving the Warrior Ethos. It was published in the National Review. In that paper, General McMaster describes what really provides Army soldiers the will to fight the enemy at great risk to their own life. A situation that runs counter to human nature and the instinct for self-preservation. He argued that it's not the Constitution to which we swear our oath, although I've often advocated for soldiers to actually read the Constitution. It's not the ideals of our nation. It's not our democratic republic or some vague idea of patriotism. Instead, it's the ethos that binds warrior brothers together to one another and in the preservation of their own and their unit's honor. Of all the people I've ever known or have met in life, most of the toughest, smartest, disciplined, prepared, authentic, all of these words mean something, by the way, respectful, caring, dependable, trustworthy, selfless, loyal, ethical people of extraordinary character are my brothers in arms. You. And you, again, are what makes it so difficult to leave, to retire from service. In special recognition to the officers and NCOs who have served most of their careers with the Red Bulls. That comes with additional respect because we all know what each other have been through, and it's been a lot. We have a lot of shared experiences and shared hardships. It's like being a member of the coolest club you can imagine, and a team with such high standards and incredible work ethic that many cannot or choose not to meet the demands of being a Red Bull. Sorry about this, Jackie. We Red Bull the shit out of everything. Meaning we're over the top and full speed ahead on everything we do, planning everything to the nth degree and violently executing the plan. It's not Special Forces or the Rangers, but within the conventional Army National Guard forces, I believe Red Bulls are elite. There are many generals and field grade officers who I hold in very high esteem, too numerous to name individually, so don't get butthurt if you don't hear your name here in the next few minutes. Trust me, if you're in this room, I hold you in high esteem. We just don't have time to highlight everyone. However, I do want to call out Lieutenant Colonel Matt Gertman, Colonel Jason Merchant, and Colonel Randall Stanford. You three are extra special to me because you were my OICs during my battalion and brigade time. And if done right, I think the commander to OIC relationship becomes a special one. Jason Merchant, where are you?
Here, sir.
Yeah. You and I have had a lot of long discussions since then, and I've come to realize that you and I see so many things the same way, and we often think alike. I relied heavily on all three of you at different times for different needs at the time, and you all helped me grow as a leader more than you probably realize, so thank you. Among general officers, General Wieland, whose career has been interwoven with mine from time to time from the time we were brand new captains, and who I hope gets the opportunity to command the division. General Schemenauer, who, again, I apologize, caused to be a little tardy today, it's completely my fault, was a fantastic battle buddy during my time at division and continues to be a great friend. General McClintock, who has been a great friend and trusted confidant to me for the last 10 years of my career, and I share your sentiment. I only wish we would have met sooner. The last 10 years of my time would not have been the same without you and your advocacy, and I want to extend to you my deepest gratitude and my hope for our continued friendship. I want to thank Command Sergeant Major Matt Strasser. I didn't know you had emotions.
I don't, sir.
You were my battle buddy during Brigade Command, and you made me a better commander. You made me a better officer, and I've known a lot of great ones, and I've been particularly impressed with Command Sergeant Major Casey recently, especially since he was able to pull off that hat trick. But I have to say that you are the single best non-commissioned officer I've ever served with. I also want to thank Generals Orr and Carell, who couldn't be here today, for the opportunity to command at the battalion and brigade levels. Sir, I appreciate it. I definitely want to thank General Osborne for the opportunity to serve as the Langton Point Commander of this fine organization. I will cherish it for the rest of my life. Thank you, sir. Finally, I would like to thank General Charles Kemper, who also could not be here today. He's the Deputy Director of the Army National Guard and a very busy man. But for the opportunity to serve as a Deputy Commanding General in the infantry division that I love. I'm retiring with 34 years of service, and my exit is timed perfectly. I will always be a Red Bull.
Well planned.
Attack, attack, attack.
thank you for your words. On behalf of everybody here, James 4:10 says, humble yourself before the Lord and he will exalt you. And you've always done that. You've humbled yourself, and it's why you've raised to the level that you have in the military, and we're very proud of you. We're grateful for the outstanding 34 years of service to this state and nation. We wish you the best of luck in your retirement. Ladies and gentlemen, I would ask you to rise, but you're already on your feet. I'd ask you to remain there. And we got two more things here. The chaplain's gonna come up and pray for us. And when he's done, the Army song, if you don't know the words, just flip over the
Program.
and thank you, Jackie, and the words are on the back. So, chaplain.
Would you join me in prayer? Now, as we draw to a close, Lord, thank you as much for being with us, bringing us here, and may we be inspired to live lives worthy of your honor and glory. So now, Lord, would you bless us and keep us? Lord, would you make your face to shine on us and be gracious to us? May you, Lord, turn your face toward us and give us your peace until we are all safely home in the light of your glory and grace. Amen. Amen.
This concludes today's retirement ceremony. Again, please join us in the reception in honor of General Adams in the JFHQ atrium right outside. Thank you.